neuroscientific narrative consulting. Why you should care about it. Hello, I'm Malcolm Cox and welcome to Tuesday Teaching Tips episode 131. And you're asking, what on earth am I talking about today? Neuroscientific narrative consulting. Well, I'll explain. My wife is a GP, as some of you will know, and she gets a number of journals, one of which is the British Journal of General Practice. She read and tore out an article for me after she'd read it, which she thought I would be interested in, and I am, and I'd love to bring you the thoughts on this. Here it is, the article in question. And it's an article helping GPs to understand better how to engage their patients, how to convey information that they will grasp, that will really be meaningful to them. In other words, not just some facts and figures, not just this would be a good idea to do this or not to do that, but instead appealing to them in a way that they would retain the information and feel motivated to take action. Because in the end, if you can't motivate people to take action, what's the point of the whole consultation? So that's the background to this article. And it has impact for us who preach and teach, in that what's the point of preaching and teaching, even preaching and teaching accurately or intelligently or interestingly, unless people feel motivated to take action. Everything Jesus did and taught and preached was to help people take action, take positive, healthy action, to help them in their relationship with God and with their relationships with one another, and much more than that, but to take action. Story is a part of it. That's what this is really all about. Let me give you a couple of quotes from the article. They talked about the fact that functional MRI scans, that's doing an MRI scan and watching what is actually happening while something is going on. Functional MRI scans demonstrate that when we hear a story, more areas of our brain are active than when hearing facts or simple instructions. Crucially, this includes areas engaged with working memory, such as the hippocampus. Thus, stories are both more engaging and memorable. Get that? Stories are both more engaging and memorable. If we want people to remember what we've been talking about, we need to tell stories. If we want people to engage emotionally and think about their actions following on from what we've been telling them, we need to tell stories. You may say, I'm not a very good storyteller. That's another recording. I think I have recorded some on that before. You can go and look those up, and I may again in the future. What I want to do today is simply encourage us to take storytelling seriously as part of the regular way that we teach and preach. Let me tell you about some research that was done at Princeton and Harvard. Firstly, at Princeton. Now, at Princeton, they had some people watch a 100-second fundraising video for a children's hospital. And because of watching the video and watching the stories, they found a 47% increase in the serum oxytocin. The significance of that is that oxytocin is the hormone that generates or stimulates generosity, bonding, and trust. It makes us feel human, in the words of the article. It makes us care, and it helps us to agree. So you see the increase in that. It helped a sense of bonding, it helped a sense of valuing, it helped a sense of generosity in watching these stories. And then in Harvard, they recruited 42 volunteers and asked them to watch a 1-minute long UK public service announcement about the dangers of smoking. And then they gave each person after those videos $40 and invited them to donate a proportion of this to an anti-smoking charity. How much would they give? Well, when they showed the film, it generated an increase in ACTH, which is the hormone adrenocorticotropic, that hormone, as well as the oxytocin levels. And they found that there was a 261% increase in the amount donated. The stories had an impact on action. So it affected the way people felt, but then it also affected the way people acted. Stories are so powerful. Now, we're not talking about being manipulative. We're talking about driving the point home to the point where people get the point, remember the point, and will have the sufficient understanding of it and grasping of it to then act on the point. Do you use stories? Jesus used stories, didn't he? All the best and great and most effective preachers and teachers have all used stories, or at least anecdotes, if not full stories. Do you use them? If you do, I'd love to know the way in which you think about them. And if you don't use them, I would love to know what the barriers are. What are the problems with telling stories or anecdotes that you have found? And perhaps I can do another recording on how to overcome those hurdles. Because if stories are helpful for GPs, if they're helpful for doctors, then they're going to be helpful for you and I who preach and teach, who are doctors to the soul. So we need to use those stories and anecdotes effectively. What do you do? I would love to know. So please leave a comment wherever you hear or see this recording, and leave it publicly so that we can learn from each other, because we learn best when we learn in community. If you wouldn't mind, pass the link on to somebody who you think might benefit, and then hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave us a review in iTunes, and I hope that until the next time we see each other, you have a terrific Tuesday and a wonderful week. Take care and God bless.